I've got the false floor cut out, laying in here. I went through and, so let me get you some better light, drilled out a hole for there was 2 studs right here that are part of the body, and then there was a hole up here that one of the bolts for the seat went, and it's a straight down hole. So I was able to use that and these studs, drilled the hole out big enough for the stud, and then countersunk a washer and a 10mm nut. So now this will be bolted down. This one's a 17mm bolt, so it's pretty beefy. I need to put a bigger washer on it probably, and Loctite that in, and then we got the floor solid. So then we'll be able to either bolt or screw the box down to the floor, and it'll all be part of the car, so they can start tearing stuff up. Right now I've got probably maybe a third of the box cut out, and I had to go back to Lowe's to get more sheets of MDF. So I haven't been filming any of the cutting process, any of this, because I feel like it's pretty boring. So I'll get the entire box cut out, and then I'll start filming the assembly and kind of walk you through what I'm doing. So these are the top / bottom, either one, pieces here. So this will be the sides of the box. So I'm gonna do, the baffle will be 3 layers, 3/4 thick, and then the bottom will be 2 layers. The sides and front will be 2 layers. So it's gonna be like really overbuilt and really heavy, but I haven't really told you exactly what I was doing either. I decided to go away from the 415's build and do, I contemplated 10, but I'm gonna do 8 SCAR SDR 10's, 8 of them. I'm gonna do 4 of them on a cab and 4 of them on a cab. So 2 cab 2000.1s, 1 per bank of 4. So each 4 subs will have a 2000.1 on them for now. That'll be like the budget, just playing, and then I'll probably start adding more power to them, because I feel like they'll probably take a lot more power than that. I should be around the like 4 or 5, maybe 6,000 watts range, especially once I get my alternator. Then I can run that pretty easy, and we can keep voltage good. So it should be a nasty build. It should probably tear the old Focus apart. So that's where we're at on that. Getting ready. Just made a trip back from Lowe's. Got my sawhorses set up. Went back to Lowe's and got 3 more sheets. It's adding up big time, unfortunately, but that's what it takes. So get everything cut out. A little bit of change of plans. This is just the port. I said I was going to be doing a triple baffle and then double airing everything else. Basically, I've bought 6 sheets of 3/4 MDF, and since the box shape is so long, because it's going to be 4 and 4, and then the shape of my car, I mean, it's just the way it went. The pieces had to be so long that basically, like the bottom and the baffles, I can only cut 1 out of 1 sheet of MDF, and then you cut this out, and then you're like, there you go. Alright guys, so this is what it's looking like in its current state. All the sides are done. I'm gonna go in and add glue here on all of these corners right here. I've done the bottom already. I just have to flip it up on the side so it won't run off. But this is the start. So this box will be approximately 16.5 cubic feet net. So before sub displacement, before port displacement. I'm also going to do I think they're 1 3/8 wooden dowels. I think 3 of them right here. So this one I did the screws around the edge to connect these valves together, and then added screws in between. These decking screws here are the ones that connect the front to the sides. So I just went in between them. So those are attached on this to this, and then the screw from the bottom. But I did these screws connecting these two pieces together on the outside because this is actually where the port will be, in this area. So like I said, I've already got the port made up right here, and I'm waiting to get the subs in so that I can go ahead and decide how far down they're going to sit, because when I scribe out where the port's going to be at, I don't want the port to interfere with the subs. So if I have to, you know, move the port down, you know, maybe not completely center it, but just move it down and then it's centered side to side, just so it doesn't interfere with the baskets hanging down. And I'm not really sure how deep they're going to sit. And then, you know, you're going to have a double baffle here. So this was probably about all I'll get done today. I'm going to go ahead and show you the false floor after I've bed lined it. From what little bit of research I did, people were saying not to bed line MDF or you know, birch or any of that stuff, because the bed liner is not made for wood. It's made for, you know, primed or bare metal, right? So my thought process was, okay, well, if it's not made to stick to wood, then I'll just prime it, and then I'll have the bed liner stick to the primer. So that's what I did. I used kilts on it. You can see it's not completely covered. I only bought 2 cans, and I did the edges really heavy, and then you know, 4 to 5 inches, something like that, all the way around here, really heavy with what I had, right? Because the box is going to sit in the center, so you won't even see this part. But I mean, it turned out pretty good. It's covered in dust, but I mean, I like it. Too cheap spraying bed liner cans. And I sprayed in these holes. I even know you'll just see the washers. You know, you won't even see this one. It'll be under the box. I think most of this is going to be under the box. I haven't really like measured it out, but you probably won't see most of this. So I think this will be just fine. It's not going to be a show vehicle, but this is going to be the first vehicle I've ever actually put in a show. I plan on taking it to the Sundown Auto Show in Hickory, and I also usually try to make it out to Ruckus and Chill. I think it's in Farmington, North Carolina. So yeah, I mean, I plan on having the build there, showing it off and giving demos and see what people think. It's something I've always wanted to do, and trying to make it happen. All right, so it's the next day. I've got the box fully assembled as far as the shell. I've just been working on getting ready to start sanding down all the edges, making sure everything's completely flush and flat, and then sanding all these holes, getting ready to prep for body filler. I've already done this side, so it'll all be perfectly smooth and ready for paint. So yeah, the holes on the inside are on the inside of this portion. I don't really know why I did that, I just did. So I'll fill those on the inside also. I'm using some regular body filler from Lowe's, some more of those spreaders from Harbor Freight, and make it happen. Alright, so this is another day. I'm not exactly sure where I was at on the last clip, but this is a completely new day. I've just got off work, so I'm just continue working on the box. When I last left it, I've been working on just getting all the imperfections on the outside smoothed out, all the holes filled, and I just put another layer on this side, finishing this side up. So I just gotta, I'll DA this down and then block it. And then the outside, for the most part, we were just kind of spraying this as like a, not really a guide coat, just seeing how it would do. The entire outside's pretty much done. I'm going to lay it on its side and fill in all the rest of the holes on the inside, all the way down both sides. And another trip to Lowe's. Just went and got a gallon of resin. So I'm gonna body fill all the holes so it's smooth, and then 45 all the corners, probably just brad nail those in, glue and brad nail them in, and then the entire inside of the box will be covered in fiberglass resin, obviously, like with no fiberglass, just a resin, just to seal it up. That way it's perfectly smooth, and it's airtight, I guess. Yeah. So right now what I'm doing, well, I blocked everything I showed you before, and there was still a few places that I didn't really care for too much, so I hit those again with another layer of body filler. So as I'm letting that set up for, it says 20 to 30 minutes, I'm just giving it the 30 minutes. I've been cutting out all of the 45s, so I've got 3 cut out, and I'm just cutting them out with a circular saw. So I figured I'd show you kind of what I'm doing. So I have a table saw, but the adjustment where you adjust the blade height and the motor and everything together, the little gears are stripped out, and so there's no adjustment in blade height. So I can't use it. Ideally, that would be the safest and most efficient, you know, quality way to do this, but just, you know, using what I got. So basically, just a scrap piece that I've already cut to the height of the box, which is 21 1/4. So this width, or this length, is 21 1/4 already. I've already chopped it off. So then all I've done is I've already cut one off of this, so I've already got a 45 on this end. I'm making the 45s are 2 inches in width. So as they sit on the corner, there'll be a 2-inch wide 45 slat. So I just measure 2 inches from this end in, create my straight line, and then like I said, I've screwed it to this board so that I don't have to like try to hold this little piece. It's the safest and most productive way, in my opinion, because I mean, they're not the best by any means, they're not pro whatever, but they'll be just fine. So just gonna throw you up on the tripod and let you watch what I'm doing. So now I'll just take this piece off. Throw in scrap. Alright, so at this point I've done a little bit of work without filming it, but just because I was kind of debating on how I wanted to do it and whatever. I got all 8 holes are cut out using this circle jig kit from Lowe's. Worked pretty good, not bad, but ideally I needed a longer straight cut bit to be able to cut through both layers of 3/4. So what I ended up having to do, using the bit that come with the kit, basically slide it out of the collet just a hair. so it would cut all the way through 3/4. Cut one side, so I did all of them on one side, flipped the baffle over, and then did it again, and it dropped out. What that did basically is ended up, let me get a little bit decent. I don't know if you can see that, a little bit of lip. It basically just made them just off a little bit. So I'm gonna go through and dress them all up, perfectly smooth and symmetrical, every single hole with the Dremel tool. I think the Dremel tool will be the easiest with the sanding disc to get in there, because my DA is flat, it's not angled, so it really wouldn't fit in there very well. So I think the Dremel tool will do the best job of that. As far as the shell, I've got the 45s in all the way around, so that's done. Body filler set on this side, so I just go sand this and see if I need to put another layer on that. The other side needs to be done, so once those two are done, I'm gonna resin the entire inside and the bottom of the baffle, which would be the inside of the box, all in fiberglass resin, without fiberglass, just to seal it off and, you know, strengthen it, smooth it, whatever. And then I'm also going to, I've got some Kilts primer, so I'm gonna primer the outside of the box and go ahead and put a coat of white on it, just gloss white Rust-Oleum paint, and then from there I'll just see what else we want to add as far as, you know, design. But that's where I'm at right now.